How many C-sections can a woman have in her lifetime? Her name is Xia Jingju. She has been pregnant 6 times and already had 2 C-sections. Now, her scarred belly is swelling once again. She looks so happy, but all the doctors are worried, because this time her situation is especially dangerous.
What condition does she have? To put it simply, the placenta grew right over the incision from her previous C-section. And what's more, it even extended past that and into the bladder.
Sure enough, after the baby was born, something happened to the mother. She suffered massive bleeding, and her uterus couldn't be saved. If the uterus isn't removed in time, her life could be in danger. But no matter how much the doctors tried to persuade her, Xia Jingju insisted on keeping her uterus. The doctors could only respect her wishes and did their best to stop the bleeding, but the situation didn't improve. The blood even pooled on the floor, and her vital signs quickly deteriorated. Outside the operating room, Xia Jingju's father heard his name being called. Before he even had a chance to hold his newborn grandchild, the doctors pulled him aside to inform him of the crisis. Should he save his daughter's life or her uterus? The elderly father chose the former without hesitation. But when the doctors returned to the operating room, they found Xia Jingju still refusing.
Doctor, can you save her? If I try a little harder, I can survive past the age of 33.
The doctor could not ignore such a humble request from a mother, so he could only try to help her keep it. But not long after, Xia Jingju lost consciousness.
Is Xia Jingju
Summer chrysanthemum.
summer chrysanthemum?
There was no choice but to have the uterus removed, but it was still too late. The red light on the monitor flashed. Xia Jingju's heart suddenly stopped, and the entire operating room went into emergency mode. After injecting a large amount of emergency medication and performing CPR, they finally snatched Xia Jingju back from the hands of death. Bag after bag of plasma was used up, and countless pieces of gauze were stained red. Due to continuous blood loss, the clotting factors in Xia Jingju's body were rapidly depleted, plunging her into a deadly cycle that became harder and harder to stop. Once again, the monitor sounded an alarm. Xia Jingju's heart had stopped beating again. This time, the doctors had to use a defibrillator to bring her back. The doctors approached Xia Jingju's father again and presented a treatment plan, but the process was extremely risky. The patient's family was asked to sign a critical condition notice. The father listened to the doctor's words in silence and requested to see her in the operating room. He stayed for only a few seconds before coming out to sign the notice, and then informed the other relatives in the waiting area about the situation. After calmly and rationally doing everything he could, the father finally broke down and wept, covering his face. No one knew how much he was suffering inside during the time his daughter was being resuscitated. The relatives then called Xia Jingju's husband, who was deeply troubled, telling him to drop everything and come immediately. After another 2 hours of emergency treatment, Xia Jingju was temporarily out of danger and transferred to the intensive care unit. During the surgery, she lost 13,000 milliliters of blood, which is equivalent to replacing all the blood in her body 4 times. This is from the documentary Gate of Life from that year, which focuses on the obstetrics and gynecology department of a certain hospital, using real and intimate footage to let us clearly feel the suffering of childbirth and the pain of labor. After some time, Xia Jingju's condition improved and she was transferred to a general ward. It was only then that she finally saw the child she had risked half her life to bring into the world. Was it worth it? At this point, none of us have the right to speak on it anymore.